Hello students, how are you? I hope that you are fine wherever you are. Welcome to our today's lesson. And you've seen that previously we looked at several lessons on oral skills and also oral literature. And in our today's lesson, lesson 23, we are also going to wind up on oral skills so that now we can look at something else in the next lesson, that's lesson 24. Now, we are going to look at etiquette. And we looked at telephone conversation, right? We looked at also debating skills, how we are supposed to debate. And now we are going to look at etiquette in general, right? Like when it's come to greetings, when it's come to also conversation and so on. We are going to look at all the skills that are required for you to ensure that you communicate effectively in that case. So welcome to our lesson and see on the manners and how we are supposed to behave. Now, what does it refer to as the word etiquette? You know very well, etiquette are those set rules and norms that govern our polite and acceptable way of interaction, especially through greetings, requests, and commands. So most of the time when you say hi to people, how do we introduce ourselves? How do you also introduce someone else? We are going to look at all those skills that we require. Sometimes when you also make a request, sometimes your request might be turned down, not because of the availability of what you're requesting not being there, but because of the way in which, or the manner in which you ask for that request. And then commands. You can command and give the best way. Now, etiquette are those rules that we are supposed to follow any time we are ensuring that we communicate well to any audience or any person listening to us. So let's start with greetings. Remember we said that greetings are very important before you start any conversation. And the reason you have greetings is to ensure you create a rapport with the person you are talking to. Again, you bring them closer to you. Now, it is important to greet people according to their age and also position and also relationship. So when we say age, you'll find that, for example, when we come at the coast, it's very important for the younger one to say hi to those who are old. And you find greetings, for example, shikamo. Shikamo is a greeting that is said by young to the aged. It's very hard for you to get it being the other way around. So shikamo, marahaba, as the response to that. So you find that age is a factor. And it's supposed to be those who are young are the one who are supposed to say hi to those who are old. Again, position. You'll find that, for example, when we get to the army and so on, we have ranks. There is a way wherever you address someone, in a different positions. We have a hierarchy, and that hierarchy is supposed to be observed. You are in a court, you talk about your lordship, your ladyship, right? You are talking to the president, His Excellency, right? You are referring to a queen, Your Majesty, but you're going to look at that. So the position of a person determines how you are supposed to greet them. Again, the relationship. How close are you? Are they your age mates? Yes. If they are your age mate, it's very okay for you to use the informal form of greetings. But if we have maybe a working relationship, it's very formal, then we must make sure that we use the formal language in that greeting. Now, an older person should be greeted in a formal way, e.g., good morning, Mr. Kinudia. And a person in a more senior position than you should also be greeted in a formal way, even when they are younger than you. So, we have said age is a factor, but again, position is another factor. Even if the person you are addressing or you are greeting is younger than you, but the position they hold in an organization or an institution is higher, then it must be formal in that case. Now, then how do you do Mrs. Candy? Mrs. Candy probably is younger than you are, but it has to be formal. Now, When it's come to your age mates, yeah, they can be greeted in an informal way. If you are friends or you are relatives, that's now the relationship. Or if they are not your seniors, example, hi Jackie or hi bro, that's now when we talk about bro, that's a relative, isn't it? Jackie, that's probably be an age mate, isn't it? Again, members of your extended family can be greeted in an informal way. Example, hi uncle, yeah, hello dad. But people that are not related to you and are not your friend should be greeted in a formal way, unless they are younger or agents and not your seniors in position. So it's very important to have these skills, because you might say hi to someone, he's a boss, he's a senior person, and sometimes they don't even respond because your approach or the way you have approached it is wrong. Remember, these skills are required whenever we are doing interviews and whenever we are having speeches and so on. We need to know the age and also the relationship and at the same time the position of a person. Now, sometimes we do introduction. Yeah, you say hi and you need to do an introduction. Sometimes you might be introducing yourself or you might be introducing someone else. You are a prefect, you are one of the debaters, and you've been told to introduce a guest who has come. So how are you supposed to introduce that person? So there is a way in which you are supposed to do it. So we are going to look at introduction of a person, a different person, and also introduction that is now based on yourself. Now, when introducing someone important or title, mention their respective titles in the greetings as shown below. Start by their titles if you want to introduce them to someone else. Example, Your Excellency. May I introduce you to Mrs. Wanjara? That's for President, isn't it? Your Honor, meet Mr. Omori, the manager of KCB Bank. Are you fine? You say, Your Excellency. Now you are referring to the President in that case. Now, when introducing an ordinary person to a titled person, mention the lay person, then introduce by mentioning the name of the titled person before giving the title. Example, oh ma'am, meet Mrs. Anway Guru, the Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Interior Government. You see, so you start with an ordinary person, and then you get to this person who has got a position somewhere. Now, which are these common titles that are there? You might refer to a person using a wrong title. So it's very important to know these titles and when are we supposed to use them. Maybe we have said Your Excellency is used whenever we are referring to the President. Now, you are referring to the Prime Minister. What would be the best word? And I know you've been hearing this in the media. So, Prime Minister, you refer this to the Right Honourable. The Right Honourable so and so. So that's the best word to use, or the title for a Prime Minister. When it's come to the Member of Parliament, we'll talk about the Honourable. Yeah, the Honourable so and so, like that. When you are referring to a judge or a magistrate, you will talk of Your Honor, right? You've seen how lawyers, wherever they are having their argument and their discussion, the word they use, Your Honor, Your Lord, Your Lady, Your Lordship, Your Ladyship, or honourable words that are used when we are referring to a judge or a magistrate. Remember the difference when we talk about a magistrate? This is a judge in those law courts, right? And then it can go all the way to the Supreme Court. A mayor, you talk about Your Worship. Yeah, Your Worship. When you refer to a king or a queen, Your Majesty, right? And when you refer to the members of the royal family, you will say those are like the Grand, the Duke, okay, or the Grand Duke, the Chase. You talk about the Royal Highness, Your Royal Highness, and so on. And when you refer to a prince or a princess, you talk about Your Grace, Your Grace. So it's important to know who am I meeting and whenever you do the introduction, you must make sure that you do that introduction observing certain rules to maintain etiquette. Now, when you talk about also other royals, you say about lady or lord, you use sir or madam to any important person or profession, any profession. And that's why you find, for example, we talk about Sir Alex Ferguson. Yeah, it's a title given in Britain to show a lot of respect for such a person. Then a professor. A professor is the highest university title for a teacher, right? Professor George Saitoti, or the late Professor George Saitoti, and so on. Then Mr. We use the word Mr. when we are referring to a respectful title of any man, right? Mr. So-and-so. Whenever we are referring to that person who we respect, then we use Mr. for that case. Then we've got Mrs. And you find that there's a difference between a Mrs. We have Mrs. And then we have Miss. And we have Miss. So we're going to discuss this after we take a short break, right? Then we get that in the next part of our video. So let's meet in the next part.